In this screencast, you are going to learn how to divide mixed numbers. So notice that the steps are about the same with dividing fractions, except for the first step, it says to change each mixed number into an improper fraction. And then we're going to follow the same steps as we did when we're dividing fractions. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first example. We have 2½ divided by 1 2/3. So we are going to change our mixed numbers into improper fractions by doing bottom times the side plus the top, bottom times the side plus the top. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So 5 halves divided by 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So 5 halves divided by 5 thirds. Then I'm going to go through my steps, keep my first fraction the same, change my division to multiplication, and flip my second fraction. And then I just follow the steps for multiplying fractions, and I multiply straight across. 5 times 3 is 15, 2 times 5 is 10. I then complete my problem by changing my improper fraction into a mixed number. 10 can go into 15 one time, leaving me a 5 left over. So I have 1 5/10, which can then be simplified by dividing by 5, and I would get a final answer of 1 1/2. So once again, putting my answer in simplest form. Next example, 4 2/5 divided by 1 1/2. So once again, bottom times the side plus the top. So I get 22/5 divided by 3 halves, and I'm going to go ahead and go through my steps, keep the first fraction the same, change division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction to find the reciprocal. And then I'm going to multiply straight across. So 22 times 2 is 44. 5 times 3 is 15. I know that this is an improper fraction, so I have to divide 44 by 15. I know 15 can go into 44 2 times. 2 times 15 is 30. I subtract, I get a 14. So I have these numbers left over, so I know it's going to be 2 14/15 as my final answer, because 14/15 cannot be simplified. Next example, we have a mixed number divided by a whole number. So once again, changing my whole number into a fraction by putting the 1 underneath, multiplying bottom times the side plus the top to change my mixed number into an improper fraction. That would get me to 10/3 divided by 4 over 1. I'm then going to go through my steps. So I keep the first fraction the same, division to multiplication, and flip my second fraction to find 1/4. I go ahead and multiply straight across. 10 times 1 is 10. 3 times 4 is 12. This fraction can be simplified by dividing by 2. When I divide by 2, I get 5 on the top and 6 on the bottom. So my final answer in simplest form for 3 1/3 divided by 4 would be 5/6. One final division problem, we have a whole number divided by a fraction. Once again, I'm going to make my whole number into a fraction by putting it over 1. So I have 3 over 1 divided by, change this into an improper fraction. So I have 5 halves. And then I go through my steps, keep the first fraction the same, division sign becomes multiplication, and flip my second fraction to find the reciprocal. I then multiply straight across. 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 5 is 5. 6/5 is an improper fraction, so I have to go ahead and divide. So 5 can go into 6 one time. With 1 left over, my denominator stays the same. So my final answer would be 1 1/5. So once again, for dividing mixed numbers, your steps, change each mixed number into an improper fraction, keep the first fraction the same, change the division sign to multiplication, flip the second fraction to find the reciprocal, multiply numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator, and then write the final answer in simplest form. So remember, our quick way to remember dividing fractions is just keep, change, flip, or same, change, flip.